Hey guys, welcome back. So this is part 2 of my labor and delivery story. This is going to be the delivery slash afterwards portion of the video. So if you missed part 1, make sure that you click up here and watch that first. So, okay, this video, like I said, in the last part, I did not get any vlog footage beyond like the end of labor, so this is just going to be me talking about my experience. So this is going to be all over the place, I guarantee. So it's probably going to be a long video, so get a drink, get a snack, and listen to me talk. My little guy's over here beside me still sleeping. Hopefully he stays asleep. But alright. So at the end of my labor video, you saw me filming the clock, and it was about 7 o'clock in the morning, and so I got to 10 centimeters dilated around 4 o'clock in the morning. And once that time hit, I thought that meant it's time to push, but they said that he needed to move down more in the birth canal or whatever. They needed him to move down, so they just kind of had me sit up in the bed a certain way for a while, and they kept like coming in to check and see where his position was. So it wasn't until 7:30, like a few hours later, that finally they were like, all right, it's time to push. So at 7:30, like these nurses and things came in and were getting the bed set up with like the things where you put your the stirrup things that you put your feet up in and all that fun stuff. And up until this point, I was really feeling that pressure, like I was talking about in my vlog. I was feeling that pressure down low, just basically like everybody says, it feels like you really need to take a poop, and that's what it felt like. Very odd sensation, but it kind of makes sense because it's something coming out of you down there. But so it's like I said, this is kind of a blur, but I just remember, they had me position my legs up in these little stirrup things, and at first they told me to hold my hands behind my thighs, like behind my legs, to push, and I did that for a couple pushes, but then she said, oh well, we also have these handles. They were like handlebars on the sides of the bed, and so I actually ended up using those the rest of the time, and that helped a lot. So basically, I was pushing. I had my husband right beside me. He got to see the entire experience, and I think that's awesome. Like, I know my husband is very, not squeamish, but like, he's not, he didn't think that he was going to want to watch that, and I told him, I was like, I wouldn't want to watch that, but he was a trooper, and he stayed right beside me and held my leg, while I was pushing and everything, because my legs were numb. But so basically I pushed for about 30 minutes, and the nurse said, once we get to a certain point, then I will call the doctor and the OB whatever in. And so I pushed for 30 minutes, and it honestly, it did not seem like it was that long. It didn't seem like it was that long. But so they call the doctor in, and the OB that was on call was actually a woman, so there was that. But she got down there, and it was 10 minutes later, just 10 more minutes of pushing, that I had him out. And so, like, I'm gonna get like a little graphic here, I guess, but I could feel as his head, was getting ready to come through. But as soon as his head popped through, and all the nurses and everybody around me were coaching me really well, and so it was like, it helped me a lot when they were saying, yeah, come on, that's, you're doing really good, like when they were coaching me like that. That helped me a lot. But I could feel, like that pressure that his head was coming through, but as soon as I felt that pressure, I thought that after the head came out, I thought the shoulders would be kind of the hardest part to get through. But as soon as I felt that head go through, the doctor she basically just grabbed him and like pulled him out of me. Like, it was just one swift motion, it felt like. So he came out, and I was very surprised, like, even in the blur of, like, you know, holding my child for the first time, but I was surprised at how I didn't feel any pain, like, right off the bat. Now, the pain came later, but, there for that first little bit, like, I wasn't hurting down there or anything, but, so he comes out, well, as soon as, like, he wasn't even totally out yet, and the doctor said, look down here, mama, look. And I looked, and I could, like, you know, see his head or whatever, and that just, like, you know, gave me that motivation, boom, just pushed him out. And he ended up having actually a knot in his umbilical cord. She said, here, look, she's like, look at this. She's like, this is, you know, it could have been concerning if the knot would have been tighter. I guess that could have been bad, but I guess it was from him swimming around in my belly and doing acrobatics, or is that the word? Acrobatics? Acrobatics. I don't know. He tied a knot in his own cord, and I got to see that. So my husband cuts the cord. They pretty much immediately, they place him on my chest, and he honestly didn't have a lot of the nasty stuff on him, like the white stuff, whatever that is, the vernix caseosa. He really wasn't that, like, I started to say dirty. He didn't have that much stuff on him, which was surprising. But they just, like, immediately laid him on my chest, and they were, you know, wiping him off with stuff. And I've got some pictures that my husband took. Like, this was after they had cleaned him up, and I'm not sure if they had weighed him at this point. I can't remember. But these pictures are, like, very, very soon after he was born. And I just remember, you know, it's pretty much like everybody says. It's just kind of, yeah, it feels like such a magical moment and just like a blur of a moment, like, you know, carrying this child for 9 months and then bam, they're like on your chest. It's a lot. It's intense. So I was glad that my husband got these pictures. I didn't even know he was beside me. He was like right by me with the phone taking these pictures, and I didn't even know he was there. I knew my husband was there, but I didn't know he was taking these pictures. But it was an amazing experience, for sure. But they said you can hold him as long as you want. Just let us know when you, like, want to weigh him and all that kind of stuff. So I probably held him for maybe 10 minutes or so, and they came over there and started to do something to him. And I said, I guess you can go ahead and weigh him if you want to. I said, because I'm curious. So he ended up weighing 7 pounds, 15 ounces. And we kind of joked because I guess when he came out, he pooped a little bit. And we said, you know, maybe if he didn't poop, he would have been like a solid 8 pounds. But he was just 1 ounce under being 8 pounds. And he was 20 and 3/4 inches long. So I guess that's kind of on the longer side. We've actually already had his first pediatrician appointment, and he is in like the 84th percentile for his length. So that's pretty cool. But what else? I don't even know. I mean, like I said, beyond this point after he was born, it's a lot of a blur. I wanted to be filming things, but it was just like a lot going on. So I didn't get any of it filmed. But so basically I had him, and I held him, like, after they got him weighed and everything cleaned up, they just put him on my chest, and we did skin to skin or whatever. And then he hadn't even been born for an hour yet, and I can't remember if somebody like recommended like me trying it or what, but he actually ended up latching on to feed within like an hour of being born. So I thought that was pretty cool. And he did really good, like the very first latch. So and just to mention that, like, breastfeeding is going pretty good so far. I'm only 5 days out, you know, from having him, but so far things are going good. My milk has definitely came in, and I'm starting to get like those like sore spots, but I'm figuring it out. So so yeah, I think we were still like in the delivery room for, let's see, I had him at 8:10. I didn't mention that. I ended up having him at 8:10 in the morning, on January 26th. So we were in that room until about 10:30, and then they basically were like, okay, we're gonna take you to a, whatever they called it, like a different room. So what was weird for me though was like after I had him, you know, I'd had that epidural and everything, but after I had him, that numbness from the epidural wore off like within, I would say like 15 minutes. Like it was really wearing off. I mean, my legs were still pretty jello-y, but they had me get up and go to the bathroom for the first time, which is such an awkward thing because the nurses have to help you to the bathroom, and they literally like pull your pants down and like do all this stuff for you, and like I don't know, but I commend labor and delivery nurses because they see a lot and they have to deal with a lot of interesting stuff. But all my nurses were really awesome, but it's pretty awkward though, like having to step into like, you know, a diaper thing and like them fixing you up and all that. But yeah, so we got all of our stuff together. I got changed and cleaned up for the most part. And oh, let me go back. I knew I was gonna do this. I knew I was gonna forget parts of the story. I did have a 1st degree tear, which is like, you know, the lowest degree of a tear that you can get. And not to be weird or anything, but like I just heard the doctor say, like right after I had him, she said something about, she was talking to a nurse and she said something about like 1st degree tear, blah blah blah. She said something, but and then I just like see her between my legs, like with her like needle and thread like stitching me up, but I could like barely feel it. So and then of course I delivered the placenta and all that. Also, something, before I left that labor and delivery room, they brought me breakfast, which was nice because I hadn't ate in like so many hours. I ended up eating like so many ice chips and a couple popsicles because I was like, I wasn't really hungry, but I was just feeling so thirsty, so I just kept eating ice all through my labor. But anyway, so let's see. So about 10:30 in the morning, they, like I said, got me all cleaned up and wheelchaired me to our afterwards room, whatever that was called. And so we were basically in that room for like a day and a half. We ended up getting to go home the next night after I had him. So I had him on the 26th and we got to go home, let's see, is that right? On the night, yeah, on the night of the 27th, we got to go home. Once we moved to that other room, it was like so exhausting. Okay, I had labored all night, didn't sleep at all. And then we finally get to this like afterwards room and I was thinking maybe I'd get to nap or something. But there were people coming in our room constantly. Like I swear it was, sometimes it was every 10 minutes. Somebody was coming in to ask me if I needed anything or to bring me some food, like, which was fine. You know, they were bringing me like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But then people would come in and, I mean, I have like random people come in and say, we're photographers for the hospital. Would you like pictures of your baby? And I don't know, just like random things. So like anytime I would get a chance to maybe close my eyes, I would close my eyes and then like somebody would knock on the door and come in the room. And of course I had nurses coming in constantly and they push on your belly and make sure that everything's going good with that. But that day, that like however many hours we were in that room, that afterwards room, it was very tiring, exhausting. I think the entire time we were at the hospital, like the 2.5 days we were there, however long it was, I think I ended up getting maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep that whole time. And I was getting a little delusional, seemed like, by the end. Of course, and then on top of like all these people coming in the room constantly, I'm having to feed him like every so often and take care of him because I have a baby now, and it was a lot. I was very happy when we finally got to come home. So we've been home since Monday night. I'm filming this on Thursday. So we've been home since Monday, and every day has been a new adventure. Taking care of this little guy and just trying to get in a routine of things, and, you know, feeding him every like 2 to 3 hours and all that fun stuff, changing diapers all through the night. Like I said, it is pretty late right now. I think it's, I say pretty late, it's after 9 o'clock or so, but me and my husband, luckily he's been able to be off work with me since we've had him, so he hasn't had to go back to work yet. So we've been doing this all together so far, and we're taking shifts. Like right now he's asleep, and when he gets a good nap in, then we'll flip-flop. But I'm still, you know, just getting, I think last night I ended up getting a good 3-hour stretch of sleep, which was nice. Postpartum wise, I'm still pretty, like, once again, TMI, but you bleed a lot after you have a baby, or at least I am. And it's, you know, like I said, day 5, I'm still dealing with lots of bloodiness and stuff. And that's what I was gonna say earlier when I mentioned my stitches. I have not, like, looked at myself down there. I mean, that probably sounds really weird, but I don't even want to know, like, what, I don't want to see anything until I know that I feel that I'm healed up. So I haven't even, like, is that weird? I haven't even, like, got a mirror and looked at anything, because things are pretty sore still. But he's stirring around. I've been sore, but it's not been anything horrible. I don't know, just the bleeding is pretty annoying. I'm ready for that to be done, to be honest. And yeah. I also had considered doing a video, it's like telling you guys what I ended up using from my hospital bag, because there was a lot that I didn't use that I really thought that I would. So I don't know, I might eventually do that video, what I actually used from my hospital bag. But oh my goodness, I feel like I'm forgetting so much stuff. So like I said, if you guys have any questions about my labor and delivery story, leave a comment down below. You can also follow me on Instagram, Tiffany Johnson 82. I did announce his birth over there. I know a lot of you guys don't follow me over there, so you didn't know until these videos that he had been born. But follow me on Instagram, and I will be posting pictures of him over there. But so far, everything's going really well. It's just getting used to this like new lifestyle of being a parent and taking care of something else that's not myself. So yeah. And everybody's been asking like how I'm feeling. I feel like everybody thinks I'm like, you know, everybody gets concerned about like postpartum depression, and so far I'm good. I mean, yeah, it's hard. I'm not getting any sleep. Breastfeeding can hurt a little bit sometimes, but I feel fine. I'm good at this point. So, but anyways, guys, got any questions about anything, leave them down below. This is a long video, and thank you guys for being with me. Little guy's starting to cry, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up. And yeah, he's like, shut up, Mom. He's got his little hands over his ears. But I'm so thankful for you guys that were with me on this whole pregnancy journey, and now he's here. So this is crazy, but he's getting ready to cry. So I hope you guys like this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't already, because I post a brand new video whenever I want to. So stay tuned to my channel. I need to film my empties video. It's totally random, but I do need to film that. So thanks for being here, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!